afternoon. I'm Jennifer from the Somerset County Family Community Health Science Department, and I'm very excited to be here with you this afternoon to show you a no-bake blueberry cheesecake. And it's a great time of year to be making a dessert like this, especially this month. We're going to celebrate National Blueberry Month. Did you guys know that? It was National Blueberry Month. So if you go to local farms, you can maybe still blueberry pick, and prices, and just the plumpness of the blueberries. This is prime season for that. And blueberries are a superfood. They're rich in so many vitamins, which I'll share with you as we go through the recipe. But I just want to get started making our crust. Now this recipe comes from a really long time ago. I've actually been making this for years and years. I found it in a Self magazine. The first job that I had, we had a recipe contest, and I had made it because we were making low-fat versions of common things. And cheesecake is delicious, but cheesecake can be loaded with fat. So this is going to be a lower fat version, and it's going to be super refreshing and packed with antioxidants with our blueberries. So I have a glass pie plate that I've just sprayed, and I'm going to take 4 tablespoons of butter and just melt it in the microwave. And then we're going to use fresh graham cracker crumbs. I bought the box, but certainly if you don't have a box of graham cracker crumbs and you have a plethora of real graham crackers, you can put them in a food processor and make your own crumbs. So there is 1 1/4 cup of finely ground breadcrumbs here. And what we're going to do is, I have my oven preheated at 350 degrees. We're going to just let that crumb just bake for 10 minutes on the bottom. Now, as an option, you can totally skip this step and buy the ready-to-go graham cracker crust. I like this version better because it's a little bit of less crust and more of the blueberry creaminess. Okay, so our butter is melted, and we're going to add in the graham crackers. And you're just going to just gently mix it with a fork until it's all blended together and becomes just like wet sand. Good morning, Jal. Good morning, Julie. Good morning, good afternoon. I'm used to Friday at 11. Those of you who are joining us and were on Daryl's zucchini webinar last week, she will be doing a live presentation on zucchini next Tuesday. So we are kind of highlighting all of the great produce. All right, so that's nice, almost like a wet sand consistency. I'm just going to dump it into the pie plate. The smell, like I said, I wish on these live videos you guys could just smell the aroma going on, and the graham cracker scent is just so yummy. That's why I like going this extra step and using the homemade graham cracker crumbs instead of the pie crust. Okay, and you just kind of firmly press it down with a fork. Get all the edges. So just, it looks like this. Okay, so you'd bake it in the oven at 350 for 10 minutes. Now I've already done it. We're not going to waste 10 minutes waiting for that to bake up. I have one already baked and cooled. Okay, so I'm just going to leave this here. Next, we're going to puree fresh blueberries. I have a little shy of 2 cups of fresh blueberries that I've already washed. I'm going to just dump them in my blender and give it a quick puree. Just a quick puree, and you can just see, like, blueberries are so beautiful. Look at that rich purple color. That purple color is that antioxidant power that's so great for our health and protects our cells. So what you're going to do with your blueberry puree is just pour it into a microwave safe bowl. Okay. And then we're going to add 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. I had a fresh lemon. I just squeezed into here 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. Just give that a gentle stir. And now what's going to make this thick and creamy is some gelatin. Okay, so it's just unflavored gelatin powder. We're going to take 2 teaspoons of the unflavored gelatin. So like I said, you know, when you traditionally make cheesecakes, it might be a fuller fat version. We're going to use low fat and reduced fat cream cheese. So when you take out the fat, you do need to add that texture back. So we're going to let this sit for 10 minutes. Again, okay, I have my puree that has been sitting with the gelatin on top for 10 minutes. We're going to pop it in the microwave for 10 seconds. A quick 10 seconds just to let that gelatin all dissolve. Okay, now I took 2 packages of cream cheese. Now the original recipe called for 1 package of fat-free cream cheese and 1 package of reduced fat cream cheese. Now let me tell you, if you like your full dairy fat, okay, you will not lose flavor using a fat-free version or a reduced fat version. You won't, I promise you. I've been making this for so long, it's so delicious. Okay, so that's all nice and dissolved. And I just want you to see the thickness. Do you see like how thick? There's almost like on top a coating just of thickness. Okay. So we're going to beat up our cream cheese. And we're going to beat up the cream cheese and we're going to beat up, I just want to give you this tip, because when you're baking, sometimes this can be confusing if you don't use a lot of evaporated or sweetened condensed milk. I have 1 14-ounce can of fat-free sweetened condensed milk. So this is sweet, okay, even though it's a lower fat, sweetened condensed milk does have a lot of sugar. But when you serve it into servings, it's okay. Now the difference, okay, evaporated milk, you cannot substitute evaporated milk for here. You do need to use the sweetened condensed milk. Both milks start out as fresh milks, and through a process they kind of vacuum out the moisture, the water. So they take about 60% of the water out of the milk. And evaporated milk is a little bit thicker, okay? They heat sterilize it and put it in the can, so it does have that caramel color, a little caramel flavor to it because of the heating. They take that and they add sugar to it, and that becomes a sweetened condensed milk. Okay, so that's what we're using here today. You can see how gooey and creamy that is. If you don't have sweetened condensed milk, you can take 1 cup of evaporated milk and 1 cup of sugar, and that will be an equal substitute, but you have to add the sugar to it. All right, we're just going to beat this on medium. Look at that purple color, right? That's why I chose to use a clear bowl. I just want to scrape this and get every bit of blueberry goodness in here. Now the vitamins and nutrients that are in blueberries, they're a great source of fiber. They're a great source of vitamin C. You can actually, in 1 cup of blueberries, get 16% of your vitamin C, which is so good for your immune system. It's going to be a good source of vitamin K and a good source of manganese, which actually helps us process nutrients in our body. So those are the key nutrients that are in blueberries. Okay, that's all blended together. And this is how simple it is. You just take your pie crust, and we're going to just pour that Oh, this smells so good. And it's so thick and creamy. I wish you could taste this. Okay, so you just need to let it set in the refrigerator for a few hours. You could let it set overnight if you're entertaining and you want to have it the next day. I did, so here is one that was chilled overnight. You can kind of see how it's nice and thick, okay? And I like I said, you can totally use this and skip that first step, but I like the fresh crumbs, and then it just is so pretty. It's so pretty. So you take the extra blueberries and you just garnish your pie, and you can take fresh mint. It's also a great garnish. So just look at the color. So this is the unchilled version, if you can see that, right? You put that in the fridge, and then you have this ready to go. So that is my special favorite pies that I've been making for years. It's just a family favorite, and I love that we can incorporate blueberries. It's so healthy, but it's seasonal. And if you want more information on blueberries and the history of blueberries, you can go to theblueberrycouncil.org. It's actually very fascinating to read about the history of blueberries, because they did start here in New Jersey back in the early 1900s. They were first cultivated in South Jersey, and in 1916 was the first time blueberries were cultivated and went from farm to table. And so it puts New Jersey in the history of blueberries, and it just makes a huge impact on agriculture here in New Jersey. So enjoy the blueberries and make this, because your family will love it. Thank you for watching, and tune in next Tuesday for tips on zucchini. Have a great day.